fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's Women Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I am going to be working on my Dreamer Designs snowman with gold and silver presents. This is a square kit, so I'm going to zoom into where I'm going to be working and I will be right back. Okay, guys, let me jump into my life update. What's been going on in my regular life? More this week than last week. So let's see. Our week started out with the energy efficiency guy coming to the house to do the energy efficiency thing. He did a bunch of tests. He took a bunch of measurements. He did that thing where they pressurize the house to see where stuff is leaking out. And surprisingly, the house is pretty good. I was afraid we were going to have leaks in all the windows and they were going to tell us we needed to replace all the windows and that kind of stuff. There are some places inside the house, and our little attic door is one of them. It's one of those weird, like, small half door kind of things that goes into the attic. And it's not even the whole attic. The whole attic isn't even accessible from there. But we need to get some extra insulation put in there, and the door itself needs to be made more airtight because we're losing a lot of heat that way. We also need to seal up a couple of things, like there's an outlet in our little sunroom that leaks a lot of energy, but nothing major. So we discovered there is some insulation under the sunroom, but it could be better. So we need to figure out how we're going to do that. And after doing some kind of investigation around the house, hubby and I think we could maybe solve some of our water issue problems, like the leaks that keep happening in the basement, if we had better gutters installed, because some of them don't seem to be angled enough. Like, that's why we were having ice dam up in it during the winter and things. So we may be doing something about that. But for now, really, insulation was the only thing. And he told us if we ever redid the siding on the house that we could insulate and then put on new siding, but I don't think that's an expense we're going to tackle anytime soon. So for now, it's good. It could be better, but we are slowly upgrading appliances. Hubby was actually looking because we bought a new fridge last week that hopefully will be here sometime this week. And it's not really any bigger, but the freezer's on the bottom instead of the top, and it's going to be like a decade newer. He was looking at the old fridge and seeing when it was manufactured. So hopefully just the fact that it's newer will mean that it will be more energy efficient. I'm assuming it'll be more energy efficient with the freezer on the bottom anyway, so we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm putting some of these should be Christmas red. I decided to put my ABs down here in the bottom of the scarf since this is kind of this separated little section, because I don't have very many. This is all I have left of the ABs. I do have some fairy dust drills in this color, and I do have a bunch of the square crystals in this color that I bought, but I thought the ABs would look a little bit better than the crystals. I don't know if I'm going to use any of the crystals in this kit or not. We'll see as I go along. Sometimes you just kind of have to wait until you get to a section and be like, I think I can substitute that in there without making it look too weird, or this would look good there. We'll see. Anyway, so the energy efficiency guy came and that went better than we thought, so that was good. I also played phone tag for a little bit with a volunteer group. I wanted to do some volunteering just to give me something to do and get me out of the house occasionally. But I'd been playing phone tag with this lady, so we finally got a hold of each other. You know, I just assumed volunteering would be like, hey, I'm going to show up and help out. I guess it depends on what you're volunteering for, but I have to take some training courses and stuff like that, so it may be another couple of months before I actually start doing any volunteering, but okay. So I didn't use up all the ABs. I have a few left. So if I use that color elsewhere, maybe I'll put some more in. All right, what's Q? I did remember to go through and mark off all the ones that I had originally marked as ABs and then I decided not to use, so there is that. Okay, what's else going on? Ugh, it's been rainy and gloomy the last couple of days. Actually, lobster season started, so I've been watching the lobster boats. There's a boat that has a buoy for his traps that I can see from my kitchen window. They're out there every morning checking their traps and stuff. I took a picture and sent it to my nephew, and I had it zoomed in so he could see the boat. because we don't have direct water access down to the beach. Not that it's like an actual beach anyway. The youngest and I were out exploring, trying to see if we could get down to walk on the beach like we were at the rental, but this area of the beach is basically just a bunch of big rocks, like big boulders, not just rocks. So there's really no place to walk. Even when the tide is out, it's just a bunch of rocks. So, but anyway, I had zoomed in so you could see the boat, and I hadn't realized until my nephew texted me back, "You're that close to the water?" Oh no, this picture makes it look like we're right there, but it was because I had zoomed in. Because back where we're from, it's not a lot of water to be found. I mean, there's a few lakes and things, but nothing major. We ended up, oh, I missed some cues. I hate it when I do that. Ended up going to Walmart to get my youngest glasses repaired. He has those ones that they look like they're wireless, but or frameless, I mean. So there's just a wire under the bottom of the lenses holding them. And one of his lenses had come loose. And we did go in and they did tighten it up for us, but the guy told us that it probably isn't going to hold on too much longer, which I tried to get my youngest to buy new glasses before we left the States because we still had insurance and it would have been basically nothing. But now we get to make an eye appointment here because he should have had an appointment in January. But at the time, we didn't know what we were doing yet, and moving here was still fresh, so we just kind of put it off. So now he's ready to. I thought for a minute, I was like, oh no, that's a Y. No, it's upside down. Okay, I'm doing the right symbol. Woo! Get him in, and I need to go before too much longer as well. So we'll see how that works and how much all of that costs here because we don't have coverage for eyeglasses yet. I mean, maybe we won't, but we'll have to see what happens. I don't even know how it works for hubby and I yet, so we'll see. Okay, what else? Oh, I started to tell you it's been rainy and gloomy. I'm ready for some sunshine, you guys. It's supposed to be 90 where my daughter is next week. I don't want it to be 90 degrees already, but I could stand for it to be above 30. I think we had one nice day this last week, and then it's pretty much since that nice day, it's done nothing but rain. We are going to my mother-in-law's today for Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. They're going to do, I always have to stop and remember, they call it barbecue. We're going to barbecue. In my head, that means we're going to have barbecue with barbecue sauce, like pulled pork, pulled chicken, ribs, something like that, corn on the cob, beans, potato salad, all that kind of stuff. That's what barbecue I would think of. No, barbecue here just means they're going to put something on the grill. So hamburgers and hot dogs. So maybe that's a regional thing, even in the US. Like when somebody said they were going to barbecue, does that mean they're just going to grill? Like where I'm from, we would have just said we're going to grill something because barbecue is its own separate thing, at least where I'm from. But maybe it's not like that everywhere. As I'm coming to find out, things that I thought were everywhere in the United States definitely are not. Also, I need to correct myself. I was telling you guys that I found the Jiffy mix here. I did not. I found it at the Walmart in Maine that we went to. Also, when we were at Walmart getting my son's glasses fixed, we decided to do a little bit of shopping because it's one of those one-stop shops, right? My husband wanted a garden hose. I wanted a couple of things for the kitchen and like a hanger to hang some diamond paintings up. So we're wandering around the store. We're all just, oh, this sounds good. Let's try this. I wanted some things that had been out at the other grocery store that we usually go to. So I'm over, okay, they have my Pop-Tarts because I typically only eat the frosted cherry. I don't really like any of the other flavors. So my son usually eats the s'mores or the brown sugar. However, he found one called strawberry milkshake and a churro flavor. He wasn't thrilled with the churro flavor. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it tasted like churros. I think it just tasted like cinnamon and sugar, which I guess that's what a churro is. But anyway, the strawberry milkshake was really good, and it actually has less sugar and less calories than my frosted cherry, so I might be getting that one from now on when I want a little sweet treat. Anyway, we spent way too much money, but got most of the things that we needed. I didn't want to do a whole big grocery shop because we're going to have to empty everything out of the fridge when they bring the new fridge in the next couple of days. I don't know how successful we were, but I think most of it, what we bought went in the pantry rather than in the fridge, so I guess that's good. The other exciting thing that happened was my husband and I have a new game we've been playing. So I have a friend who told me about this really cool new game called Blueprints. as in the color blue, and prince like prince and princess. And it's a play on words because you're drafting these blueprints of a house. But it's like a puzzle game. It's not like a shoot 'em up game. It's not like a run around the countryside and fight things game. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. But puzzles and stuff, that sounded really cool. We have an Xbox, so we thought, okay, well, we'll just get it so we can play it on the Xbox. Nope. Our Xbox is too old, so the game wouldn't play on there. So we were trying to figure out, gosh, I don't want to go buy a new console just so I can play this game, but I really wanted to play it. The problem is you can play it on PC, but only with a Windows computer, of which we don't have because my husband and I both have Macs. Well, I have a Mac desktop that I use for all my editing and stuff. And then we both have Mac laptops, but won't play on a Mac. There is a way to get around that, but it was really inconvenient. And so my son very graciously offered to let us use his laptop because it is a Windows laptop, because he also has a Windows desktop. And he's like, I don't really use my laptop that much, so you guys can use it if you want to play the game. So I was like, okay, cool. So we got the game. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. I'm having so much fun with it. Hubby and I will sit down on the couch and you play by day. So on day one, you do all this stuff and you play all these puzzles and you have a goal that you're working towards, but there's like mysteries and clues and stuff in all the different rooms, and it's really fun. So huge thank you to Heather for recommending it to me because I'm having a blast. We just spent some time playing it this morning. Actually, it was a really fun day. We got a lot of things accomplished in that day. We discovered a lot of clues and figured out a lot of puzzles, so it was fun. I'm old enough now, though, I can't sit and play for hours and hours at a time like I used to. And the youngest, my husband had to leave to go take care of his dad for a little bit. The youngest is sitting with me running the controls because I'd rather concentrate on the puzzles and stuff. And we finally get done, and I'm like, okay, call it a day, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, how long is this game supposed to take? And I said, I don't know. I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to do a speed run. I don't need to finish it in 18 hours or something. I'm just having fun playing the game. He's just one of those younger, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, figure out everything. Oh, I can't figure out this clue. Well, I'll just go to the internet and look up the answer. I'm like, that's cheating. We need to figure it out. We actually watched somebody do a playthrough streaming on Twitch. So I actually knew a couple of answers to the clues because we'd watched this guy, but we got to a point where like, okay, we have to stop watching because we're going to learn too many things and we don't want to ruin the game for ourselves. I don't know how long we'll play it, but it's been super fun so far. And we'll see what's going on. My oldest, her birthday is coming up. So I was talking to her about what she might want for her birthday. I mean, I'm pretty much just going to be sending her money so that she can buy herself something because trying to ship things is crazy, y'all. My sister sent me some papers from the States, just some odds and ends of stuff of ours that has shown up after we moved. So she was forwarding it on to us. So we get the mail, and then, like, I don't know, a week later, I get a bill in the mail from UPS. And I'm like, what is this? I didn't send anything UPS. No, it's a bill for an extra almost $7. Now, this is in addition to the $70 I already paid, because when she ships us stuff like that, I reimburse my sister for the shipping. $70 for shipping, and then I get another bill from UPS. And I'm like, wait a minute, how come this didn't all get paid, right? Normally it knows it's because things are so crazy right now. It fell on one of those weird dates where stuff was on again, off again. So I owed them another like $7 and some odd cents. And for whatever reason, it took so long for the bill to get to me that I only had like 2 days left before it was going to be late. And I was like, seriously? It's not my fault the mail is slow. And then I discovered that something I hadn't realized. So we have bank accounts here in Canada, obviously. We have a debit card that we use. And it's taken a while to get used to the system because here you can do electronic transfers. Like if you know somebody's email address, you can transfer money from your bank account to theirs with just their email address. It's crazy to me. I don't understand how it works. I don't have any of that stuff on my phone because you have to put the banking app and all that stuff on your phone, and I refuse to do that. But my husband does. Anyway, so we have these bank cards, and I go to pay this UPS bill online, and it wants my Visa debit card information. You know, you got to have the special security code off the back, put in all the numbers and stuff. So I'm looking at my debit card going from our Canadian bank going, wait a minute, this doesn't have a Visa symbol on it. Well, that's because it's not a Visa debit card. So the numbers don't work. And I'm like, well, how in the heck am I supposed to pay this? So I go in and try to pull out the banking. In the States, it would be like the routing number and then the account number and all that. Here, they call it a transit number. I couldn't get any of it to work. So I go and I tell my husband, how am I supposed to do this? Because it's not an actual Visa card. And he's like, oh, well, if you get the app, then you get a virtual Visa card that has all the right kinds of numbers and everything so that you can use it to pay online. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to put all that stuff on my phone. And he says, well, and I said, can you copy down the information off of it on your phone so I have the number so I can use it next time? Because, like, how am I supposed to pay this bill? Also, the same thing was happening when I was trying to pay our internet bill. The only option it gave me was to pay with a credit card and put in all those numbers like it was a credit or a debit card. And I'm like, but these numbers on this card, the plain debit card from the bank, don't work. So what do I do? So we eventually got it figured out, but so confusing sometimes how things are so different. So yeah, I'm still figuring out how stuff works and all of that good stuff. This week I need to call and make an appointment at an optometrist for the youngest so we can see about getting his prescription updated and see if he needs new glasses. He says his prescription hasn't changed in the last 5 years, and I don't think it has, but that doesn't mean that it won't change eventually. That's what they tell me every time I go in. Well, as you get older, your eyes get worse and worse. Thanks for giving me something to look forward to. And I'm curious to see how much it costs before we go in. Something I will remember to ask. I didn't remember to ask what for an estimate of whatever we were doing at the dentist before we went into the dentist. So, not that I thought their prices were expensive or anything, but just after you get used to walking out without paying anything because it's got to go to your insurance first, it's just a little weird to be like, oh, you got to pay before you walk out the door. What? Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you for my life update. Like I said, not a ton going on, just living life. I actually felt really good on Friday. I felt like I had a really productive day on Friday. We discovered that I only bought 2 sheet sets with us from the States. Because honestly, I figured we'd buy them here. We'd buy some new ones here, but I figured 2 was enough, right? We'll have a spare one when we need it. Well, I didn't realize my son's sheets were for a full size and not a queen size. So I had 3. So my third set went to him. So then we only had 2. So we went to change the sheets and realized the second set wouldn't fit on our new mattress. It's not deep enough for some reason. The new mattress is deeper than our old mattress, and we couldn't get the sheets on it. The fitted sheet would not fit over the mattress, so we had to go buy some sheets. It's too bad it's the fitted sheet that doesn't fit, because really that's the only one my son uses. He does not like to sleep with the top sheet. He said he gets too hot, but he sleeps with this big old comforter, which is nearly as old as he is, so it's probably not that warm by now, but he doesn't want to get a new one. So back to my diamond painting life. What's going on in my diamond painting life? Well, hubby and I changed my diamond painting setup downstairs. I mean, I decided what I wanted to do, and then hubby helped me move stuff. We moved some things around in the sunroom and moved the desk that I had been using in the living room into the sunroom. I just felt like the desk was taking up too much space where we want to put an extra recliner for more seating. Because of the way it had to be oriented, I was facing away from the TV. So, yeah, I got to sit down there with hubby, but I kept getting a crick in my neck trying to turn my head every once in a while to see what's going on with the TV. And then we discovered after we moved my youngest into the house with us, after we got out of the rental, that we have a little folding table that he was using to put his computer on in his bedroom upstairs. I took that little table because he has a desk that I was using in the rental for my computer, but I bought a different desk. So he has the old desk and is using that. And I'm using the little table now, and it's small enough. It's much smaller than the desk, so I can rotate it so that I can be facing the TV. I like it much better. I can see the TV. I can talk to hubby while I'm sitting there. I have plenty of room. I have my lights and everything, so it's all good. Okay, one more red. Ooh, and this is fairy dust drills. Do I want to put these in here? I think I will. Again, just because this is the end of the scarf here, so I think it will be okay that I don't have enough, because I don't have enough to do the whole scarf, obviously. We'll see if I have enough to do this end piece of the scarf. I think I do. I love these fairy dust drills, and I love using them up. Okay, so anyway, we moved my foldable table set up around, moved the desk somewhere else, so I'm liking it much better, and I'm much happier with it. And I was motivated enough, because I liked it much better, that I was able to finish my downstairs kit, which was the Bubblegum Girl, which was yesterday's video, the finish of that. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a lot if you don't mind. It's free. Anyway, so I finished Bubblegum Girl. I love how that kit turned out. I'm super happy with the way it looks. She's so colorful, and I'm happy that I didn't spend all that extra time diamond painting the brown border. I love her the way she is, so I'm happy with it. And I finished something before the end of the month, so go me. We'll see how many things I can finish before the end of this month, trying to get caught up. Okay, what else? I did start working on the Star Wars Mandalorian kit. That's going to be my downstairs kit for a little bit. I like the way these are turning out in here. I think this will be good. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have enough of these to do everything, but do as much as I can down here. And then these will all get used up until I get another kit where I have fairy dust drills left over. So I'm working on the Star Wars one. Several of you, I still want to do my Xyron experiment, and I'm going to be doing that in the next couple of days. But several of you said that you have used the red permanent. It does remove, but it does leave a little bit more adhesive, which makes sense. If it's meant to be permanent, it's probably got more glue on it than the repositionable. But since apparently the repositionable is crazy expensive because nobody can get their hands on it right now, I'm just going to make do with what I've got. And I think I have, well, it came with at least one. I might have two of the red. And those are easy to get, and they're only $7.99. So if I'm stuck using those, it's not the end of the world. Somebody recommended putting washi tape over the bottles or containers or whatever before you use those stickers, just to avoid all of the extra adhesive, which I have several of my containers with washi tape on them already that I leave for that very reason. The Bubblegum Girl Bella Safina stickers came off really easy though, so I'm super happy about that. I was afraid when I put them on that they wouldn't come off, but they did, no problem. Okay, did I get all of those on there? Did I miss any spots? I run over it with my fingers because sometimes I can feel it with my fingers if I missed a spot, even though I miss it with my eyeballs. Does that make sense? Does anybody else do that? Also, along the same lines of you guys teaching me things, people sharing about the red permanent adhesive. Oh, I just poured those into my regular, well, that's going to be interesting. I guess that works out okay. See, I should have poured those back into here. There weren't very many, but I had this out. So I just poured them back into there. So, well, go me. Erg, that's frustrating. I'm glad I was done with this before I did that. All right. So it is what it is. Okay, can't change it now. I'm not going to go through and sort out all of those, whatever. Okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, you guys helping me out. I think I talked in the last Whip and Chat about the fact that I had decided against doing the Forever Young tray tower set thing because the trays had little multi-placer divider things in them that I didn't like. And somebody said, no, 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 they don't have those in the larger tray, which was the larger set with 60 trays, which was what I was looking at. So now I'm kind of rethinking if I want to do that. Somebody else said they just used their own trays and kind of made their own tower thing out of cardboard. But I kind of now want to get the Forever Young trays and see if I can make them work the way they want. Because I've got other trays too. But then there's part of me that's like, instead of getting all of those, just order like that ink stamp pad thing. It's like a put together kind of cardboard thing that I could get on Amazon for pretty cheap. Maybe just do that and then use whatever trays and everything that I already have to see if I can make it work. So I don't know, I'm on the fence. Would you guys be interested in me ordering the 60 tray one and seeing how it works and what I think of it? Or has everybody else done enough reviews that I don't need to do my own? I mean, I've seen a couple people unbox it because I thought I could just rotate it so they would sit the way that I wanted them to. And I realized I can't do that, but that was what me started thinking, well, I wonder if I just got my own, like those ink stamp tower things so that each tray was in its own individual slot so I didn't have to worry about them dropping down in the individual little divisions in the tower that comes with it. I don't know though. So let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you'd be interested if I was going to unbox something like that and do some testing with it if you think that would be worth it or something you're interested in. Also, I just saw that, and maybe you guys knew this, I'm always late to the party because I just don't watch a lot of diamond painters. Maybe I should. But I saw that Hannah Lynn is now selling her own diamond paintings. So if you go to her website, like mostly she does coloring books and stuff, but she now has a website for diamond art. I don't remember exactly what the name of it was, but just look up Hannah Lynn art and there's links to it, I'm sure. It didn't look like there was a ton of paintings yet. Like one of them was a set of 4, I think, and then there was like maybe 4 or 5 other paintings. A couple of them were pretty cute, but I've only done one Hannah Lynn, and it was the Good Witch, and that is the kit that I did that had 11 bags of 310. And after that one, it has so much black because she makes her art for coloring books. So it makes sense that a lot of her art has very heavy black line art, kind of like Mandy Manzano has a lot of black line art in her diamond paintings as well. But oh my goodness, so much black. I just looked at it and went, these are cute, but I just don't think I can face that much black right now. Maybe at some point in the future. Yeah, just not right now. Momentary lapse there where I was like, oh no, did I put these on the wrong color? I did that yesterday working on the Star Wars kit and I had to pull a bunch of them off. I was like, ugh. I get so frustrated with myself when I do that. It's like I pull out one color and the symbol is sitting right there on top of the container. How do I confuse that? But I manage. Okay, is there anything else I wanted to tell you guys? I know there's one other thing that I wanted to tell you guys, but it's not very good news, so I'm avoiding it. I don't think I have anything else in my notes. So I guess just let me rip off the Band-Aid. Typically, about this time, I would be gearing up for DP for Pets to start in June. And I had every intention of doing the event this year. However, lots of things have changed since I made that plan. Things seem to change on a daily basis lately. After kind of just going through everything that I have going on, where we're at in our lives right now, and everything else that's going on outside of that, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for me personally right now to do a giveaway with prizes and everything. I have no idea. I don't really know how some of these businesses are doing it and trying to figure things out because it just gives me a headache. So I will not be doing DP for Pets with an official prize giveaway and all of that. And I apologize for that. I know there are probably people who have already bought their kits. So here's also where I'm asking for some help from you and some input from you guys. I would still love to do the event, although I completely understand if other people are not as into it because there's not that chance of winning a prize at the end. I mean, I really try to figure out a way that it wouldn't end up being crazy, but without knowing in advance where things are going to be shipped to and how much it would cost, sorry, but I just can't figure out how to make it work for us. So my current plan is that I'm still going to work on a pet themed kit in June. So if you'd already purchased a kit towards that and you would like to DP along with me and diamond paint on a pet themed kit in June, and we'll still do progress pics and all that kind of stuff, I would still love to do that. If you would rather hang on to your kit until later and maybe next year things will have settled down and I can do DP for Pets, I'm not going to address DP for veterans in November yet because who knows what can happen between now and November. So I'm hopefully still going to be able to do that one, but for DP for Pets, yeah, so if you guys have any thoughts or suggestions on a way that would be possible. So my plan, like I said, is to just do a pet themed kit, still do all of the progress pics. I'll post them in my Facebook group and all that kind of stuff. So if you have things that you want to do along and post and all that kind of fun stuff, that would be great. If not, and everybody wants to wait until possibly next year when I can get back to doing this and things are sort of back to normal, that's my plan currently. Things are just different now because I'm here. It just makes things a lot more complicated than I want them to be, unfortunately. So that's my plan. Again, I apologize if people have already bought their kits. They don't expire, right? They don't go bad, so you can hang on to them till next year and hopefully things will be better, fingers crossed. Or at least more stable, so I can figure out how things are going to work. So this O is well, it's not an AB, but I do have ABs, but I don't have enough, I don't think, to do everything. So these little ones here that I think are supposed to be snowflakes, I'm going to make those. And maybe this part that's like the little outline of him, the ABs, and then this over here that's like part of the body of the snowman, I'll do in the regular white. And I forgot my blue tray, so it's always so difficult doing white drills from a white tray, for my old eyes anyway. Okay, gosh, I don't want to end on that note. That's such a bummer of a thing that I'm not going to be doing it this year. What else can I share with you? Something good, something uplifting. What's a good thing that happened? You guys, if you had a good thing happen this week, share it with me in the comments. I would love to know what good things you have going on. I mean, I think the best thing I had going on this week was that we bought that game. I'm just having so much fun with it. Also, it's a little bit of an escape from reality, so that's always nice too. Okay, wasn't sure how that was going to look, but I think that's actually pretty good. I'm happy with that. Does give it that extra little shimmer to make it look like snowflakes. That's pretty cool. Don't know if they're all going to be like that, but I'll just work it as I go, right? That's all I can do. These are not nearly as gappy as the squares on the other square diamond dots kit that I did. I'm kind of scared to buy from them now because people were telling me that the squares are better, but the rounds are worse now. And I was like, no, their rounds were always the best, one of the best. Them and Craftably, I could depend on the rounds to be awesome. So I still have a couple of their older rounds that I can do that I hopefully will get to this year. But I have some of their newer squares. Actually, I think this is one of the oldest ones that I have of the squares. I think all my other ones are newer than this one even, so maybe they'll be really good. But it does seem like they tightened up the grid a lot. I mean, there's a little gaps here and there, but that could just be my work, the way I work, not the drills themselves. Okay, and then right there, I missed a number 3. How did I miss that one? Open this up so I can get one drill out of here to place. And sometimes I would have just gone over it with a different color, but not today. Okay, I think I'm going to do these ones right here, and then I'll probably call it a day. Where is that one? Is this like his little arm or something? Because there's not very many of this color. That's really good. Let me use a 12 placer or 10 placer to pick up 2 drills. Crazy. Although for those of you who are still learning to use multi-placers, that's part of the reason I like using a multi-placer. So this is like a 10 placer. I can pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, as many drills as I want. So if I just want to pick up 1, I can pick up 1. If I want to pick up 6, 7, I can pick up 6 or 7. I don't know if any of that is in focus, but anyway, that's it for me today, guys. Again, sorry for the bum out news, but I wanted to tell everybody before things got too much further along because, like I said, normally I would be kind of starting to ramp up things. So not doing that this year. Still going to do, it's like a DP along without prizes. Hopefully that's still fun for people. I guess I'll find out. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Again, a happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. If you have a mother, tell her thank you. If your mom is gone, like mine, find someone who took that spot and tell them thank you. So to my big sister, thank you. Okay, that's really it. Thank you so much for sticking around. I already said that. Before you leave, guys, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.